It all started with a scream no one was supposed to hear, a sharp, terrified sound that bounced off the tiled walls of Ridgewood High's deserted corridor like the echo of a nightmare, the kind of scream that freezes time and turns even the brightest morning into something cold and dangerous. Emily Hart, the quietest girl in the 11th grade, had kept her head down for years, melting into the background like she was afraid even the air might notice her, but that morning she had walked right into the path of 3 girls who had been waiting for her, the kind who smile like snakes, their eyes glittering with cruelty. They cornered her by the lockers, their voices dripping with mockery, yanking the strap of her worn-out backpack as they shoved her toward the bathroom. Emily's breaths came fast, her heart pounding so loud she thought they might hear it, her eyes darting desperately toward the end of the hall where sunlight poured in through tall windows, a sunlight that seemed suddenly unreachable. They dragged her inside, the heavy bathroom door slamming shut behind them, cutting her off from the world outside. The smell of disinfectant mixed with the sharp tang of fear in the air as the ringleader whispered something low and vicious in Emily's ear, something that made her knees weaken and her throat tighten. She didn't even notice the small black device clipped under her sweater, the one her father, a man she thought she barely knew, had slipped there that morning, telling her in his calm but urgent voice, "Just keep this on you, Emmy. Don't ask questions. Just trust me." That father, Michael Hart, wasn't just a quiet man who worked late nights like she'd always believed. He was a tactical leader for an elite SWAT unit, and at that very moment, sitting in a black van parked 3 blocks away, his headset crackled to life with his daughter's ragged breathing and the sound of voices that were not her own. His eyes went ice cold. His team, already geared up for an unrelated operation, froze as they saw his expression shift from professional focus to something far more personal, a predator's fury when his child is threatened. Back in the bathroom, Emily's vision blurred as the bullies pressed her harder against the cold wall, their laughter bouncing in cruel ripples around her. She bit her lip to keep from crying out again, but her father heard everything, every rustle, every muffled sob, and in the back of that van, he gave an order in a voice like steel, "We move." Now. Outside, sirens stayed silent, but tires screeched as the black van roared to life, the city blurring past. Emily didn't know it yet, but the walls that held her were about to explode with the kind of power no bully could ever imagine. And just as one of the girls reached into her pocket, pulling something Emily couldn't quite see, the faintest thud echoed from the hallway, heavy boots, moving fast. Whatever was about to happen would change Emily's life forever. If you felt your heart race just now, you're going to want to stick around, because what comes next will make you hold your breath. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the sound of boots grew louder, echoing down the corridor like the beat of war drums, each step charged with purpose, each one slicing through the muffled tension in the bathroom. Inside, Emily's breath was shallow, her hands trembling against the cracked tile wall as the bullies pressed in closer, their mocking laughter faltering just slightly as an unnatural silence settled outside the door, a silence that carried the weight of something about to happen. In the black van parked outside, Michael Hart's knuckles were white as he gripped his rifle, his voice steady over comms even as his pulse thundered. In his ears, "Breach on my go. No mistakes." His team, clad in black tactical gear, their faces hidden behind visors, moved like shadows given form, fanning out as the van doors slammed open and the cool morning air hit them. They didn't run, they flowed, weapons ready, every movement rehearsed 1,000 times in missions past, but this one wasn't like the others. This time, the hostage was his daughter. Back in the bathroom, the leader of the bullies pulled a phone from her pocket, angling it toward Emily with a smirk, ready to record whatever humiliation they had planned, when the world outside that door erupted. With a deafening crash, the metal hinges buckled under the force of a steel ram, the door slamming open so hard it ricocheted off the wall. Blinding white light from tactical flashlights flooded the grimy room, cutting through the haze, and in that instant, chaos exploded. The bullies screamed, shielding their eyes, their swagger dissolving into panic as armed men in black stormed in, their movements precise, controlled, overwhelming. "Hands where I can see them," barked a voice that froze the air, Michael's voice, deep, commanding, unyielding. Emily blinked against the light, disoriented, until a figure broke from the formation and dropped to one knee in front of her, his gloved hand gently brushing her shoulder. "Emmy, it's me. You're safe." She didn't recognize him in the armor, in the helmet, but she knew that voice, and the dam inside her broke. Tears spilled down her cheeks as he pulled her into a brief, fierce embrace before turning back to his team, his eyes burning with a rage that wasn't yet spent. The girls were quickly restrained, their protests drowned out by the clink of handcuffs and the clipped voices of officers reading them their rights. But Michael wasn't finished. He wanted them to understand something no schoolyard punishment could teach. He stepped close to the ringleader, his presence towering, his voice low and deliberate. "You picked the wrong girl. And you'll remember that for the rest of your life." Outside, the early morning sun cast long shadows over the scene as Emily was guided out, a blanket draped over her trembling shoulders, her father's arm steady around her. The